$16 million stockpile of Shahed drones parts destroyed in Russia. Offensive in Kherson and Zaporizhzhia regions. What's Russia planning? And why Putin names new justifications for Russia's war against Ukraine. The latest news next. In Russia, a warehouse storing components for Shahed 136 drones was destroyed. The estimated damage to Russia amounts to approximately $16 million, Ukraine's defense intelligence reports. A warehouse located in the Alabuga economic zone in Russia caught fire. It stored components for Shahed 136 drones, which the aggressor uses to strike Ukraine, Ukraine's defense intelligence stated. As the reports indicate, the warehouse contained 65 fuselages for combat drones, as well as engines, navigation systems, and thermal imaging cameras intended to produce approximately 400 Shahed 136 drones. All of this equipment was destroyed. This mysterious, devastating fire dealt yet another blow to the military-industrial complex of terrorist Russia, Ukraine's defense intelligence emphasized. According to media sources, the Russian plant in Alabuga planned to produce about 6,000 Shahed UAVs annually. By the end of April this year, it had already surpassed its production schedule, delivering 4,500 drones. In addition, in early April, Ukraine's defense intelligence announced that Ukrainian forces would continue to target military facilities within Russia following strikes in Tatarstan, with the range of their attacks expanding. Just days earlier, a source in the special services told RBC Ukraine that Ukraine's defense intelligence had organized an operation targeting the factory assembling Shahed kamikaze drones. This facility is located in the Russian city of Yelabuga, Tatarstan. The Russians are not abandoning their plans to launch an offensive in southern Ukraine. According to sources, Moscow plans to intensify military operations in the Zaporizhzhia region and the right bank part of Kherson. According to RBC Ukraine sources, the Russians' readiness for an offensive on the right bank of Kherson is even higher than in Zaporizhzhia. Ukrainian military officials suggest that the main attack in the Zaporizhzhia region could be directed at the Petykhatki area along the Dnipro River. Additionally, enemy actions may occur near Gulyai-Pole. It is noted that in Kherson, the Russians have already attempted to break through to the right bank of the Dnipro. At the end of November, their reconnaissance and sabotage groups were repelled near the Antonovsky Bridge from the side of the Aleshki settlement. According to sources, the decision to launch an offensive on Kherson has already been made. The operation will be supervised by the commander of the Russian airborne forces, Mikhail Teplinsky. Up to 4,000 Russian assault troops are expected to be involved in the mission, including 61st Separate Marine Brigade, 7th Airborne Assault Division. These Russian units had already retreated from Kherson in the fall of 2022, adding symbolism to their operation. It is reported that Russian plans depend on weather conditions. To reach the right bank of Kherson, the Russian army must cross the Dnipro River, as all the bridges in this area have been destroyed. This necessitates the use of boats or the construction of crossings. After the explosion of the Kakhovka hydroelectric power station, part of the Dnipro's territories turned into marshy areas that freeze in winter, which may facilitate the enemy's crossing. It was also reported that partisans from the attached movement had destroyed Russian soldiers' boats because they feared the islands of the Dnipro and crossing it. Another problematic factor for the occupiers is that part of the airborne forces from the Dnipro region had been previously redeployed to assist Russian units in the Kursk region, and they have not yet returned. Sources of RBC Ukraine doubt the success of Moscow's plan due to the complexity of such an operation. Additionally, Ukrainian troops are already prepared to meet the enemy on the right bank of Kherson, which will complicate the implementation of the offensive. Earlier, the spokesperson for the Southern Defense Forces of Ukraine, Vladislav Voloshin, reported that the Russians had already tried to cross the Dnipro in the area of the Antonovsky Bridge, but did not even reach the middle of the river. South Korea's military has reported that North Korea is likely to be preparing to deploy additional troops and military equipment to Russia, potentially including kamikaze drones, in support of Moscow's war against Ukraine, reported by South Korean news agency Yonhap with reference to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff. About details, such an assessment comes amid reports that North Korea has sent thousands of troops to fight alongside Russia in the war against Ukraine, with casualties estimated by South Korea's intelligence agency to be around 1,100.
A comprehensive assessment of multiple intelligence shows that North Korea is preparing to rotate or increase the deployment of troops in Russia. While currently supplying 240mm rocket launchers and 170mm self-propelled artillery, there are also some signs of North Korea moving to manufacture and supply suicide drones, first unveiled during Kim Jong-un's on-site inspection in November.
About details, the JCS explained that this move reflects North Korea's efforts to gain practical combat experience and modernize its conventional weapon systems. North Korean state media reported last month that Kim Jong-un observed tests of various types of kamikaze drones and called for their large-scale production, emphasizing the growing importance of this cost-effective weapon in modern warfare. The JCS added that they have not detected any specific signs of provocations from North Korea, as the country focuses on expanding military cooperation with Russia and maintaining internal stability ahead of a key party congress at the end of 2024. Nevertheless, South Korea's military has acknowledged the possibility of an unforeseen provocation by North Korea, potentially aligned with a major political event, such as the test launch of a medium-range ballistic missile featuring a hypersonic warhead.
As the North has to concentrate on supporting Russia next year, it is likely to feel burdened by the possibility of causing military tension or conflicts that could lead to the creation of a new war front.
Russian dictator terrorist Vladimir Putin once again claimed that he had no choice but to violate the 2014 and 2015 ceasefires and launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In his view, the decision to invade should have been made earlier, reports the Institute for the Study of War. The ISW referenced an interview Putin gave to Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin on Sunday, December 22nd. In the interview, he reiterated his claim that Russia should have started its full-scale invasion of Ukraine even before February 2022. However, he added that it was impossible to say exactly when this should have happened. According to Putin, Ukraine and the West misled Russia and failed to implement the Minsk agreements. This, he argued, gave Western partners time to prepare Kiev for future military actions against Russia. The Kremlin dictator stated that Russia should have prepared for this and chosen the right moment to begin the full-scale invasion of Ukraine rather than wait for a moment when nothing could be done. The ISW noted that Putin failed to mention Ukraine's efforts to strengthen its military as a defensive response to Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territory in 2014 and the beginning of the war in eastern Ukraine, ISW reminded.
The Minsk II Accords, the complex of measures for the implementation of the Minsk Protocol of February 11th to 12th, 2015 at Ivro, were notably extremely favorable to Russia, placing no obligations on Moscow, which was party to the negotiations as an alleged neutral mediator. The accords established a ceasefire that Russian proxies continually violated with Russian support.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.